Hi, it's Leah Odom with Homeowners Financial Group, a mortgage loan officer here in South Carolina. I wanted to take a second and define amortization and why it's important for you to understand what it is and how to use it to your advantage. So, amortization is the action or process of reducing or paying off a debt with regular payments, specifically a mortgage loan in this case. So, we're going to look at some examples on how to use the amortization table and that process to save you money and time. So, what is amortization and how does it apply to you? When you look at the loans that most people use to buy a house, 90% of Americans choose a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That's what everybody wants, and it's with good cause. 30-year fixed rate generally comes with one of the lower interest rates that you can get. 15-year mortgage rates have a higher payment and often a lower interest rate, but right now they're not. It's certainly something to shop around, but that's what you want to look at. Amortization takes into consideration that a 30-year fixed rate means 360 payments if you keep the home and the loan for full 30 years. So 12 payments a year, 30 years, 360 payments. So how does that play out for you? Every month you're making your payment, you're paying principal and interest. That's paying back the loan, principal, and interest, bank fees. And remember, if you've been watching my channel or if you've ever talked to me, you know bank fees are the enemy, right? So when you're making your payment though, just don't be confused about the fact that the full payment actually includes escrow items like taxes, insurance, and you also have HOA to consider. So when applying for the loan, that's all going to be incorporated, but for the purpose of amortization, we're just going to look at principal and interest. So here's your standard amortization table. This is the first year of payments. You borrowed $200,000, or your savvy friend borrowed $200,000 to buy their home, and the interest rate is 6.5%. Both pretty good average numbers. So if you look at the first payment you make, your regular monthly payment all year long, $1,264. But if you look in the next column over, interest on that first payment is $1,083, and principal, that's you paying back the loan, is $181. So then you look into month two and you'll see that interest went down $1, principal went up. And every month you make a payment, the interest amount paid goes down and the principal amount goes up. So that's actually how an amortization table works. Really what's happening is every month they take the 6.5% interest rate and they apply it to the principal balance and they recalibrate at the end of every month. We're going to talk about that again a little bit later because that's a big deal. So at the end of your payments, you're down to the last year. You're paying $1,264 a month still, only $79 in year 349 went to interest, while $1,185 went to paying down the balance. So look how aggressively you pay down that balance in the last 12 months. You get down to month 360 and only $7 goes to interest, $1,257 goes to principal, and you are paid in full. Now, if you are somebody that is very rare and they made all 360 payments, that would mean that you paid in interest to borrow $200,000. You paid in bank fees a total of $255,089. That's a lot of money. So we want to break that. Remember, bank fees are the enemy, interest is the enemy. So what happens if you make extra payments against the principal balance? We're going to look at a couple of examples. So here's a summary of what you just saw. $200,000 loan over 30 years, fixed rate mortgage, 6.5% interest. You borrowed $200,000, number of payments 360, annual rate 6.5, APR, that's another video. We're going to talk about more of that later. But principal and interest, $1,264. The total amount you will have paid over all 360 months, $455,089. I can't even say numbers that big. So savvy friend took on a roommate and took the $500 that roommate was kicking in and said, hey, let's pay that towards the principal balance every month. Here they shaved 183 months off their mortgage and saved $144,148. So the amortization table really worked in their favor. I can't stress enough how important it is to know that. That's really good information because remember, bank fees are the enemy, right? So if you make a plan to build equity quicker, which we'll talk about how to use that equity, pay less to borrow. Everybody talks about interest rates, but interest rates are secondary if you're aggressively paying down the principal balance early. The interest rate matters less because what you're doing is winning by knocking out what you borrowed early. It also allows you to become debt-free sooner. And everybody, let me tell you something, being debt-free is a big deal because it does feel good. Yeah, that is absolutely something you want to try and get to because bank fees are the enemy. And when you borrow money, you pay debt, right? So knowing the amortization table for your loan is key. That is something that I can help you with. If you'd like to build your own plan, I've got some resources to help you win the good fight, and I'm available. So leave comments down below if you'd like to get more info or reach out to me directly. I'm always happy to help. Thanks again for watching the video. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of this, and I look forward to seeing you build your best budget and home to win against the good fight.